Arsenal versus Porto tomorrow away in the Champions League. This is the night, as Arsenal fans, we've been waiting for. When was the last time you can remember Arsenal playing in the Champions League in a game they can actually expect to probably progress to the next round? You know, Porto will be a fairly difficult game, but I believe Arsenal are more than capable, of going away to Porto, winning, and then bringing them back for the return fixture and having a more comfortable experience. I am so excited for this game. I can't remember us being in the Champions League since 2016. Remember, Mesut Ozil, Sanchez, and even then, it seemed like when we played in the Champions League, we would have a fairly decent group fixture, progress either first or second, and then we get drawn Bayern Munich or Barcelona and go out straight away. But this is actually a chance for Arsenal to go deep into this competition. And I honestly believe that will happen. I think we have the team to do it. And I think we can beat Porto. And I've got a couple of stats here, or pieces of information that will show you why Arsenal have a massive chance in this game. There's a couple of things that we might need to bear in mind as well with this Porto team. But I think Arsenal are more than capable of progressing to the next round. And what gives me so much confidence, Porto seem to struggle to score goals. If you look at where they are currently in the Portuguese league, they sit in third position. I think Benfica are first, Sporting are second, and Porto are third. So let's look at how much goals they've scored, okay? Because, you need to score goals to progress to the next round. It's basic logic, okay? So Benfica, like I said, first position. In the league, they've scored 52 goals this season. Fairly decent number. Sporting, second position. They've scored 60 goals this season. Porto, third position. They've only scored 37 goals this season. So that suggests to me maybe this is a team that struggles scoring goals. And that will not bode well against this Arsenal team who have the best defence in the Premier League, the strongest league in the world. So can Porto score against us? Well, of course it's possible. This is a Champions League side. They are of a good calibre. They are more than good enough to score a goal. But will they? I don't think so. Not if the stats are anything to go by. 37th goal. They've not even scored as many goals as 4th place Braga. They've scored 46 goals. Nearly 10 goals more than this Porto team. So where do this Porto team excel? Defensively. Like Arsenal, they're very stingy at the back. If you look in their league, they've scored against them the second least in the whole league. Only by 1 goal as well. So this is a team that is defensively capable. All you've got to do is look at their centre-backs. And the first name that sticks out to you is, of course, Pepe from Real Madrid. You all know him, the aggressive Pepe. The one who he's got a bit of housery about them. He likes getting in a bit of a tumble. He don't mind having a bit of a rough up with a player. And that's what Arsenal need to bear in mind. This is a very young Arsenal attack. So Pepe will give things to these Arsenal attackers maybe that they haven't experienced yet. There's always clips of Pepe going viral of him giving players little digs and stuff like that. And I'm expecting him to do that in this Arsenal game because he has to. He's not going to be able to keep up with the pace of Martinelli. He's not going to be able to deal with the trickery of a Trossard or a Saka. 22-year-old Saka. Absolute electric running at Pepe. What's he going to do? Is he going to keep up with him for pace? No, he better time his tackle right. Or if not, he's probably going to bring him down. I think Arsenal need to attack Pepe, and I think that's where we can have success. I think if we can expose a Martinelli on a Pepe, Arsenal could have a massive amount of success in this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So where do Porto excel? I think, like we spoke about, their defence is very good. And a main reason for that, along with Pepe, is because they have probably a borderline world-class goalkeeper. A keeper who's been linked with massive clubs in the Premier League, Spain, Italy. This is a keeper that a lot of massive teams are interested in. Man United had links. Arsenal had links. Diogo Costa is of a very, very high level. And I think you're going to see that when we play Porto. This is a very good goalkeeper. But luckily, the past few games, Arsenal going forward have looked something else. So I expect Arsenal to have more than enough success in this game. I think Arsenal are more than capable of breaking this Porto team down. I think this Arsenal team are more than capable of scoring a few goals past Porto. But before we talk about the predicted lineup and the lineup that I would probably go for, there's some things to bear in mind before we pick the squad. Are we going to have Gabriel Jesus, Tomiyasu and Zinchenko in the squad for this game. You know, there's articles that have come out today saying there's one more training session at home. They're going to have that training session, see how these players get on, and then they might put them on the plane. That suggests to me, you know, if you've got 3 players that are so close to a return, at least one of them needs to be on the plane, you would think. And if I could pick one player out of them 3 to board this plane to be available for this game, I would pick maybe a player that will surprise you. I want Tomiyasu to be available for this game. I think he offers the most in terms of defensive ability, being able to get forward as well. So I hope Tomiyasu is available for this game. If Jesus is available, brilliant. But for me, he doesn't start. You know, you can't play Jesus ahead of a Trossard who's on 10 goals this season. He's Arsenal's second highest goal scorer. It seems like he's come out of nowhere. You know, I didn't think Trossard had 10 goals. I didn't believe he was Arsenal's second highest goal scorer. He's played like half the minutes of most of our other players. So keep giving Trossard minutes, and I believe this player will deliver. We can't be dropping Trossard just because Gabriel Jesus is back. I'd love to know your opinion on that. We know Jesus does perform in the Champions League. I think he might be our highest or our joint highest goal scorer in the Champions League. But he's just coming back from an injury. You don't want him to have a setback. So if you need to rest him for this game to make sure he's available for later games in the Premier League and the Champions League, I believe you do that, especially at a time where you have a player like Trossard available. Arsenal are looking in a good position at the minute. We do have quite a few injuries, but they're all kind of at the back end of that injury process. They're all ready to start being integrated back into this Arsenal team. And when they do, as long as everyone can stay fit, Arsenal honestly have such a good chance in the Premier League and the Champions League this season. I believe we can sustain a title push till the end of the season. I believe we can go deep into the Champions League. I don't think there's many teams in the Champions League that can beat Arsenal. You know, the 2 best teams in the Champions League are probably Man City and Real Madrid. We know we can beat Man City because we beat them this season. You know, we've got to play them again next month. And then Real Madrid, they are on fire at the minute. Mainly probably due to the fact that Jude Bellingham just keeps scoring. But you're telling me you wouldn't be interested in watching Arsenal play Real Madrid? Jude Bellingham playing against some of his international teammates in Bukayo Saka, Ben White, although he's not being picked at the minute. But you know what I mean? Imagine seeing Arsenal versus Real Madrid. They're the only 2 teams I think are capable of beating us. Bayern Munich are a decent enough team, but they're getting destroyed by most teams this season. You know, Harry Kane's gone there, and they've turned into Spurs. They're scared of trophies. So if Arsenal were to get drawn against Bayern Munich in the next round, I wouldn't be worried. You know, there was a time, like I said, 5 or 6 years ago, you get drawn Bayern and you think, we're probably going to go out. But if Arsenal draw Bayern Munich in the Champions League now, you know, I would expect Arsenal to be able to go to the Allianz Arena and pick up the 3 points or pick up the win to bring them home in the next leg and progress to the next round. I think Arsenal probably are the second or third best team in this competition. You know, you have to give Man City their respect and put them as number 1 because they are the treble holders. They won the Premier League, they won the Champions League, but that doesn't mean Arsenal should be scared of them. That doesn't mean Arsenal aren't capable if we do get drawn them or later on down the line we get drawn them. We can't beat them. We can beat Man City. You know, this Man City team to me doesn't seem like the Man City team of years gone past where they're just relentless and they keep picking up wins. We saw in a must-win game on the weekend against Chelsea, you know, they needed to capitalise on that win, gain the 3 points, and then, you know, it would put the pressure on Liverpool and Arsenal in this title race. What happened? They struggled to get a draw, if we're being honest. Chelsea went 1-0 up, held them out for most of the game. Man City got a goal in the 80-something minute, and the game died out as 1-1. So this is not the same Man City team of last year or even the year before. I mean, you look at their team and you see players like Erling Haaland and you think, wow, this is a super team. But in terms of them actually being able to grind out results, I don't think this is the same Man City team. So Arsenal are more than capable of going to Man City if we get drawn them and win. So this is why I believe Arsenal have a massive chance in the Champions League, because Arsenal are one of the best teams in world football right now. And that's why if I had to give a score prediction for this Porto game, it's away at Porto. So I would go, 3-0 I'm going to go. I think Arsenal will beat Porto 3-0, and I believe this is the team that he will play. David Raya in goal. Kivior left back. Even if Tomiyasu is available to play in this game, Kiwior probably doesn't deserve to lose his position anyway. He was probably our best defender in that last game. You know, Kiwior was a brick wall. The amount of times he was sort of holding off attackers and you know, the way he just read the game so well, so confident. Kiwior really surprised me in that last game, and I'm excited to see if he can build on them performances. So Kiwior has to start left back. Gabriel and Saliba and Ben White. Back five, super strong. Declan Rice, CDM, very strong. Havertz, you probably have to give him another game in that number 8 position. He's played very well this season. Scored a load of goals, with 6 goals from centre midfield is a good return. So Havertz, and don't forget what Havertz does offer us off the ball. So if Porto do have the ball for large portions of this game, we know Havertz is going to be pressing. We know Havertz has the ability to close people down and shut the ball out. He's not the best tackler in the world, but he does offer things in a defensive unit, you know, that can cause Porto problems. Odegaard in a central attacking midfield position, Saka, Martinelli and Trossard. It's probably going to be the same team that we played against West Ham and the same team that we played against Burnley. And if we do play that same team, I do expect Arsenal to win 3-0. And if you go to Porto and win 3-0, you're as good as through. Barring a miracle, you know, if you go to Porto and win 3-0, you can probably expect you'll be through to the last 8 of the Champions League. But I would love to know everyone's thoughts and opinions on this game. Do you believe, like me, Arsenal are capable of going away to Porto in the Champions League and winning 3-0? Like I said, I don't see how Porto are going to score against this Arsenal team. They're struggling to score goals themselves. They do have some good attacking players as well. You know, you look at some of their players. They've got a good Brazilian player, Evan Nilsson. Very good player, good young player. A couple of good young left wingers. I just don't think it's going to be enough against this Arsenal team. I expect Arsenal to go there and probably have most possession in this game. I think we'll probably go there and at least have 60% possession, which if you do in the Champions League away from home, just shows how good of a team you are. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. But before you go, if you enjoyed the video, do me a favour, hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.